If you are somebody who wants to relaunch your brand, or maybe you're just looking at your brand right now and you know something's missing, your content's not landing, you're just feeling really confused, and you suspect your messaging is not having the clarity that it could to really speak to your ideal avatar, then this video is for you, because in it, I'm going to share with you exactly what I did to launch a brand that completely failed. I struggled for 6 years to going on to launch the next brand and monetize it and hit 6 figures in less than 90 days. That's the power of building your brand correctly, or obviously relaunching that brand and being able to build it from scratch the way that is working today on social media. My name is Kimberly Olson, and that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. So the first thing I want you to think about is we need to figure out, and I call it the wheel of branding, but we need to figure out what's going on with your brand right now. So I'm going to assume that you have tried to start a brand on social media, if you're watching this most likely, or you know that your brand is just kind of dead right now, your social's flat, and you want to relaunch. So the first thing you want to look at is you want to be thinking about everything stems from your actual brand itself, because with the brand, and this is what we want to figure out with that personal brand, is we want to figure out who you are, who you serve, and how you help those people. So I want you to write that down. Who you serve. So write that down. Who you are and who you serve. So you could say, I'm a business coach and I work with female entrepreneurs. And how you serve those people for me is I teach them how to monetize their brands through social media. Pretty simple. If you can figure out if I'm the coach for you, if you want to monetize your brand on social and you're a female entrepreneur, then that's going to land with you, right? If you're watching this right now, does that resonate with you? And if it does, then you know you've successfully figured out just your brand, your overall brand message to start with. The next thing we need to look at is actually your content, and we need to see if that content has the clarity that's going to land with your avatar. So the way that you know if your content is on point is if you find it easy to create that content from your brand messaging. So if our overall brand vision is to teach female entrepreneurs how to monetize their brands on social, that's what I do, then I'm going to know my content strategy is going to be all around that. So what I primarily teach is money mindset, making money, and marketing on social media. All my content stems from that. If you actually look and browse through my YouTube channel, wherever you're watching this, you'll see that that is true. And so it's very easy for me to create content. I can literally pull my phone out and start recording just about anything because I always go back to that. So you'll be able to know if your messaging is landing, if you are getting engagement and traction in your content. So if people are commenting, liking, sharing, DMing you, asking how they can work with you, then you know you've landed on it and you've nailed it. So go back to your personal brand and ask yourself, is your content lining up with that? And it's okay if it hasn't up until this point. That's why you're doing this work right now, to figure it out. I'm telling you, you will be able to tell right away if you have been able to make the tweaks you need to make with your content strategy, if you start getting engagement and traction. Now, we do have to understand how algorithms work and all of that, and that's other videos that I have. You can browse my other videos to watch those. And even if you, for example, there are times when the algorithm isn't liking my stuff, I still get comments, I still get leads every day. I have sales every single day in my business because I have good content out there. My content is landing with my audience. Maybe I'm not getting the amount of real views that I would like to get, but I'm still getting traction every single day. And that's what it comes down to. The next area I want you to look at is the consistency with your content. You don't need to be all over social media. I heard this from another coach and I loved it. And she said, and I don't know where she heard it from, but this is exactly what I did in my own brand, my own company when I started. It was just me and one part-time VA, is to choose one platform, have one pain point or problem you're solving with one solution, and one offer. So your offer would be for that solution. Can you see Raya? She's right there. True story. And then you're going to talk about that one offer for 1 year. Now that seems like, whoa, 1 year, the same platform. I mean, with, the entrepreneurial ADD, like it's super hard for us to focus, right? But that's actually how you're going to get that consistency. You're going to build that audience up by doing that. Okay. So right now, I just want you to think about what excites you the most. Which platform do you like the most? Maybe it's the one that you naturally spend the most time on. And you're going to be talking about the same thing with what we just talked about with content strategy. That's going to come, it's going to be spurred by your brand messaging. That content strategy, when you're consistent, that's how you get the traction. So basically what's going to happen is with the consistency showing up on one platform, no matter what, even if it's the weekends, you don't have to live be on your phone all day long. I mean, honestly, you would laugh if you saw my phone usage. I'm never on social media. People will say to me like, oh, do you know about this? I'm like, I literally had no idea. My husband keeps me up on what's happening in the world because I just do not go online other than to connect with my students and create content. So you don't have to be on your phone all day long, but you do need to be consistent and show up every day. And this would be not signature content, but daily content. So it's just reels, carousels, maybe weekly Facebook Lives, which we'll go into the next step. Your stories every single day. Okay, this is where we make a lot of our money, is in our stories, taking those conversations to the DMs. Okay, so this is essential, and you're going to want to be committed. And I also want to give you an out here. When I'm working with students, and you can look below this video, what I would recommend you actually come into our membership program. If you like this video or my other stuff and you're like, how can I work with her? Yes, I'm in the program. Yes, I create 95% of our courses inside of our membership program, the Vault, and I run the office hour or the monthly Q&A Zooms and the accountability Zooms. Look below this video, and that would be the next step to work with me. So when you are going through all of this and you need to really dive into these different elements to that, that's going to be really important to figure out the consistency. When I'm working with students, I see the lack of consistency is usually because they have the lack of clarity. So you get a little hall pass there, but now that you watch this video, there's no excuses. And I have another tip for you that I think is really going to help you elevate your online presence. The next thing is your weekly content, is what I like to call it. It's like engineering your celebrity. You've got to find a place each week where you can really create a better piece of content, something even more valuable. It can be a blog post, podcast episode, YouTube video, weekly Facebook Live, Instagram Live, TikTok Live, Pinterest Live, LinkedIn Live. You get the point. But it's something that's better than your day-to-day content, and it's an opportunity to showcase your expertise. Now, I want you to understand you don't need to be an expert. I do offer a suite of certifications. You can DM us for info on that, and that can help you just sort of feel more confident in that space. And the first person who I ever coached for business coaching, she just asked me, could you coach me? And I said, I mean, you can call me on my way to work, and, you're going to have to take notes, and that was how I started. And I obviously charged her for that time, but that's how I started. She wasn't like, can I see your credentials and your financial statements? Like, nobody cares. You know what I mean? So with the weekly signature content, it's a way for you to showcase your expertise in that thing. And you just want to remember, you only need to be a step ahead of the person you're helping. So if I'm helping you right now I have built an $8 million coaching company. I've been a top recruiter in network marketing globally, top affiliate. I've done all the things. Do you hear that? Like a bee? It's really awesome. It's like my least favorite thing. Anyways, I've done all the things, right? And you didn't know that watching this video probably to start. You don't care. You're just like, can she help me? Does she have good info? And that's how it works. People just want to know if you can help them, okay? So I want you to decide right now what's going to be your weekly signature content, and I want you to be committed, just like the last step, to stay consistent with that, be committed to it, and really show up and show people that they can trust you, and that's going to start with you showing up every single week. And the final step in this process is what you're going to do is you're actually going to learn how to close sales in the DMs. And this completes your branding, the wheel of branding, as I call it, because the whole point of this is to be able to monetize your brand on social media. If you're not closing sales in the DMs, I've closed up to $40,000 in the DMs. Actually, one gal privately coached with me, so it was probably closer to like $70,000. And I did it in Messenger. So if you think that you have to have the sales team and do all these fancy sales calls, yes, I'll get on a call with somebody if they want that extra time to talk through things, but I don't like book people to try to like close them into our stuff. We do everything through what you see with these videos. Obviously, every other month or so, we do a live event to make, to open up our programs, and that's it. So it's a really simple model that we have here, and it works really well. So if you're busy or you don't really like sales, you're going to want to learn how to close sales in the DMs. So whenever you're creating that content we talked about, you're going to want to give people a call to action to comment below, just like you see me do especially on Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram as soon as you're done watching this, The Goal Digger Girl, GOAL. Follow me on Instagram so you can see in real time what I'm talking about. When I do those reels, I always give a call to action for people to drop a keyword. That keyword tells me what they'd like more info on or to talk about. And then I can take into Messenger. And then I actually teach this in our programs, messaging flows, how to qualify those leads, ask some questions. Don't just send links or tell people to click the link in your bio. That is so 2019. We don't do that anymore here on social media. We want to be able to build relationships. And at this point, we have about 10,000 students we've worked with. And I have some that I've worked with for years and years and years since I first started Goal Digger Girl in 2018. So if you want that retention is going to give you where each person that comes into your world spends more money with you over their lifetime. That way you're not just going around and chasing the next client or customer. You're able to build these long-term relationships that will really serve you for a very long time to come. So that's a wrap. That's what I would like you to work on from this video to really build that brand from scratch or relaunch your brand. And if this was helpful, subscribe so you don't miss any of the other videos. We actually have playlists on this channel as well. So just click where it says the Goal Digger Girl. If you click that, you'll see it go to my main channel, and it has all the playlists by category. And there is a personal branding one if you want to dig in more and see some of my other resources. I also do a lot of tutorial style videos where I'll screen share and show you how to set up your Trello board, how to, create amazing reels. All of that stuff is on this channel as well. So hit the button to subscribe. If this was helpful, I'd love for you to take a screenshot, throw it in your stories and tag me at the Goal Digger Girl, and I will give you a shout out for supporting this and watching it and telling others about it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, get lit in your business and set your soul on fire. We'll see you soon.